Hi, I'm Jeff Edelman, president of the Fort Lauderdale chapter of the American Board of Trial Advocates, ABOTA. Today we hosted an online Zoom forum and our Broward County Chief Judge Jack Tuter addressed the legal community concerning changes that are coming to the courthouse and have already transpired concerning Zoom and the future of the civil divisions. Here's Judge Tuter.
I'm just going to take a few minutes here because I know Judge Marks is on the phone also. I just wanted to kind of bring you all up to date on some of the things that pertain to civil and some of the other things that pertain to the kind of operation of the courthouse going forward. First, we have secured 100 additional Zoom licenses throughout the courthouse, which means all judges and general magistrates now have a Zoom platform. Our judicial information systems is setting those up individually in each judge's portal, so to speak, so that we have consistency in how it's set up and how the judge can manage the meeting. Some of the judges, as you all know, are a little more sophisticated than others with this, but we're all learning. The response for the most part has been that the technology is fairly flawless. We were working on some security issues with the technology this morning to make sure that we're protected, but I also had to emphasize to all the judges that even though you're in a Zoom platform, these are still open courtrooms and accessible to the public in most everything except some things that occur in the family divisions. We found this Zoom in all of the divisions. They've even used it to some extent in criminal, has worked and kept us moving. So we're very happy that the Supreme Court appropriated some money for us to get some additional laptops and Zoom licenses, and we're fully operational. So I wanted to go over a few things with you all on this so that you all know where we're going forward on this. First, on emergencies, you all need to email the division judge if you have a case number on all these emergencies. If you don't have access to the judge's email, everybody on their practices and procedures webpage has their division email. So you certainly can communicate, and at the very worst, you can communicate to my Division 07 email, and I'll have it routed appropriately. The clerk's been directed to route any thing relating to COVID-19 to my division so I can sort it out if we have any. So far, we've not had any litigation over this. I think as time goes by, we probably will have, but right now we haven't. Okay, so in our AO that we're going to put out either today or tomorrow, because I've been led to believe the Supreme Court's going to put out another administrative order this afternoon, although I don't know the parameters. Myself and Judge Marks have a Chief Judge's call right after this at noon, and we'll know a little bit more about that. In our AO, we've already made it clear, and we're going to make it more clear, that there is no valid objection to a Zoom video. There's no valid objection to a telephone meeting, and there's certainly no valid objection to a Zoom video. If you all have something you want me to consider, I will, but these objections really haven't occurred too much in civil. I think what had happened in civil more than anything else was with our AO that we put out, and I can't remember what Judge Marks' AO said, we saw some people playing games with the ability to cancel hearings. In other words, one side was using it in an advantageous way to say, okay, we don't want that hearing, and they were canceling the hearings. We've now said that only the judge can do this unless the parties agree to stipulate that the matter can be heard or resolved by the judge by memorandum. So that's going to stop some of that. We need to keep these cases moving, folks, and let me explain to you why I think it's imperative. One is nobody knows when we're going to be back in business. We're going to extend our AO at least through the end of this month. It could be that we're not back in business through the end of May. I don't know. Even when we get back in business, all of these things are going to still come to the forefront. The question then exists is how many jurors are going to show up in the courthouse? How many people are still not going to come in the courthouse and be crowded into elevators and jury rooms and courtrooms with this all hanging over our head? Civil, I hate to say it, is going to get a back seat to all this, and that's why Zoom is so important. When we go back, the criminal cases are for sure going to be backed up, and they're going to get priority on the due process end of this. So we need to keep all of that in mind. I've tasked Judge Levinson and Perlman and Bidwell and Phillips to try the possibility of a Zoom trial online. We're going to do that internally to see what the kinks are. We're going to use some of our JAs as jurors. We're going to try to do a one-day case and see how that plays out and what the specific problems with that would be. So we'll certainly let you all know what we think about that later. And I think it could possibly be used in short cases. It certainly could be used in non-jury cases. The other thing the judges have asked me to advise you is on the trial weeks, we've now opened all of those dockets up so that you can schedule in the what would have been the trial weeks for the judges on hearings, and also the issue of being patient while online. When we do motion calendars, particularly, it may be that your case is 4th or 5th or 6th, and if all the others have not canceled, you're not going to be heard until the judge gets off the line and starts with your case. So we've had some impatience by lawyers. If your case is scheduled and they've set it up, your case is going to be heard. You just need to be patient online. And we've had some disruptions between lawyers online with respect to talking over each other. We appreciate you all following the courtesy rules. So that's kind of an update on the civil. Right now, I'm sure Judge Marks will say the same thing. In the 3 years I've been chief judge, I had no idea all the things that go on in that building every day. And every single day, it's something different. We had an outbreak in the jail with COVID yesterday. It's always been something criminal because they are priority and have due process concerns. But everything has statutory time limits. You've got juvenile issues. So, as much as I love my friends in the civil bench, everything else is kind of taking priority over what you all are doing. And that's why you all need to focus on Zoom and try to get as much done as you can. I know lawyers who are doing depositions by Zoom. So that certainly would help you all when we get restarted. So later today, we're going to have some amendments to our AO. Mostly they're going to be dealing with traffic offenses and cancellation of driver's licenses and some things to do with dependency, nothing specific to civil. And if you all have questions or issues that come up, you certainly can email my office, and make sure you copy the other side if you're involved in a case or you're questioning something in a case. And we'll try to answer your emails as quickly as we can, and putting them in priority to what we've got going on during the day. So that's what I had to say, and I appreciate you all giving me the forum. I hope you all will spread the word among your colleagues to keep doing everything you can do through Zoom and online. If not, I realistically don't think we're going to be caught up once we start till the end of the year. So I just encourage everybody to keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate everybody's professionalism. So